Hello, my name's Nick. I'm with Midwest Railway Preservation Society. Today we're going to take a look at nickel plate number 62. So let's take a ride through history and climb aboard. 62 is in many ways similar to number 90 that we also have on property. She was built in 1934 by the Pullman Car Company, better known for their sleeping cars, but manufactured all kinds of passenger and freight equipment. She was built for the Nickel Plate Railroad and is set up as a long-distance coach. So her seats are a little bit nicer than number 90's, and she has a couple extra amenities such as the smoking section near the men's restroom and an expanded women's lounge, since in those days a proper lady would not smoke with the men. As typical of coach cars of the era, 62 has walkover seats, meaning that upon reaching our destination, we just simply move the seat back over to the other side, and now we're ready to travel the other way. Eventually, in 1960, she was bought by Midwest Railway Preservation Society and was upgraded to run excursions with 4070. She received eventual upgrades such as head-end power. In most respects, 62 is a typical coach of the 30s and the 40s. She is unremarkable in her service with the railroad, except for one notable run-in with history. We set our scene in 1943. 62 has been placed in service with the Lackawanna Limited, a joint service run between the Nickel Plate Railroad and the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western. Operates between New York City, technically the Jersey side, and Chicago, with the handover in Buffalo between the two railroads. On August 30th, 62 was the sixth car as it left New York City. While the passenger train started running behind schedule, up ahead in the town of Wayland, New York, there was a local freight doing some switching work. By the rule book, that train should have been in the clear well before the arrival of the passenger train. But the crew had been warned that the passenger train was running late, and so they took that opportunity to do some extra switching under the theory that that would allow them to leave town sooner once the limited had passed. Unfortunately, the freight crew is still in the way of the main line when the passenger train shows up. Now, it's not a full head-on collision, luckily. The freight crew was off on a siding, but there was still enough overhang that it was a bit of a side swipe between the two trains. Passenger train derails. Fortunately, 62 manages to stay upright in the derailment, doesn't toss her passengers all around rolling over. However, she stops next to the freight locomotive that, due to the collision, now has steam pouring out of it and through the open windows of 62. 26 people die in the car immediately. There's actually only one other fatality from the accident in general, and that was in the cab of the passenger locomotive. Those 26 victims are why we call 62 the death car. She's also called the ghost car because it's believed that 17 of them still call the car home after all these years. One of the warnings we give to guests if they ride our excursions is that they don't want to stick their hands or arms outside of 62's windows while we're moving. This is because the windows have been known to shut suddenly in this car. Now, it could be that the car is almost 90 years old and things don't necessarily line up and latch the way they were originally intended. Or it could be that if you were the ghost of somebody who died because the windows were open, you might be inclined to close a window or two yourself. Thanks for joining us today for our look at 62. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And join us again next time here at Midwest Railway Preservation Society.